Hi, and welcome back to episode 53 of the Simply Whelmed Podcast. I'm your host, Colin, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
How we doing, everybody?
We're just a couple of best friends who are passionate about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, TV shows, or even the occasional comic, then we have got the show for you.
That's right. And not only that, but this episode will mark our one year.
Yeah, fully 1 year. Let's see here. Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Please.
All right, shut up. So, we've got, gonna live with you. We forgot that we were recording today. So, for our 1 year anniversary, we're relatively unprepared. But we are going to talk about the season 3 premiere of The Mandalorian.
Yes.
As well as I thought it'd be nice to just kind of look back on the year.
Yeah.
Talk about some of our favorite
It
episodes.
doesn't feel like a year at all.
No, it does not.
I mean, honestly,
No.
like, as goofy as it's going to sound, I remember, like, the past 4 eepisodes, and then it's just a blur. And, like, each new episode, the last one I remember it is gone.
You've got a data bank of 4 max, and whatever 5 episodes was, 5 episodes again was gone. What?
Never.
What's
there.
crazy is we're also approaching. I mean, like within 10 weeks, we'll have been doing more episodes in front of each other than we did over the computer.
Yeah, that's crazy thing. That's how we used to do.
Most of our episodes at this point have been done remotely.
And through
not
Discord.
looking at each other, just listening to each other's voices. You know, with you leaning back in your chair, feet all kicked up on your bed, thinking. You know.
And now I can't get like that no more.
No. Now you got to be more engaged. We got to make eye contact. Look at me, Hector.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's today the day. But yeah, so like I said, Mandalorian season 3. Just kind of look back on the year, and then we do have a little bit of news, kind of a light news week for us. We're going to be talking about some Nosferatu casting news.
Oh.
This was news to me.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie got a trailer as well as a full cast list.
Oh, shit.
And it's from Seth Rogen. His
Oh, snap?
Yeah.
His shit's been banging.
Yeah, he is into like non-main, like I don't want to say non-mainstream, but like non-Marvel, non-DC comics. We figure like The Boys is produced by he and Evan Goldsberg or Goldsmith. So yeah, Nosferatu, TMNT. Marvel is launching a new like comic imprint called 20th Century Studios imprint, and they're premiering it with a series that I'll probably have to read. And so we'll talk about that. And then the one that really like threw me for a loop, didn't know what was happening, was a new Hellboy movie.
Who's playing Hellboy?
We'll get into it. So if you're ready, we'll just talk about it. Which one want to start with?
Hellboy.
You want to start with Hellboy? All right, then we'll start with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No.
We'll start with Nosferatu. We'll work our way up to it. I had to find out which one you're most excited for so that I could put it at the end. That way you got to fucking lock it in the whole time.
I should have thrown you a fastball or a curveball.
I'm like,
I want to know
about the new Marvel comics.
Let me hear about Nosferatu.
Yeah, lay it on me, big dog. So Aaron Taylor Johnson is joining Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, which already has Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård, and Willem Dafoe on board, as well as Lily Rose Depp.
Good cast.
So yeah, it's a pretty banging cast. And this is the movie that we've talked about before, where I think it was the same week that we were talking about The Northman.
Yep, don't remember that.
No, we saw The Northman.
That's past the 4-week mark. I don't remember.
Don't remember it. No, when we went and saw The Northman and we got in a car accident. Like that happened.
Don't remember it.
Don't remember it. Maybe the car accident had something to do with that. Like car accident.
That's nuts. That would have been that night.
Yeah. Now, granted, that's like episode 10, I think.
That's forever ago. Yeah, we were just driving, minding our business.
And then,
if I got slapped by a semi.
Bam!
Spanked, as I should say.
Clapped. Cheeks were clapped by that semi.
And it didn't stop, man.
No. Well, I mean,
I'm lucky we made it out with it.
Yeah, I mean, a few broken bones, you know. No. Luckily, there was no grievous bodily harm. More pride and emotions, you know.
I should have shit myself.
Yeah.
I should have.
The one time you
grabbed that
didn't.
check. Yeah, I should have grabbed that check.
You're all reliable when it comes to pants shitting, and then this one time you let us down.
I've shit myself so many
You
times.
shit your pants on accident so many times. You couldn't do it on purpose this once.
I got stage fright.
Yeah. Cinched up. Just
Put on the spot, you know?
Yeah. Aaron Taylor Johnson is joining up with all of them. So I like Aaron Taylor Johnson a lot. He was great in Kick-Ass. And then to kind of rebrand himself a little bit is like
with
from
Bullet
that
Train?
wimpy little kid to being like, oh, she put some scruff on this man. And he's kind of badass.
I love seeing the memes right now where it's playing the song with him and
Clementine and
and
Lemon. Yeah,
and they lean in and it's playing a song. I can't remember what the song is.
I don't know. But
I'll bet you I'll find it real quick. Just play the audio.
Yeah, so Robert Eggers always does good stuff. I like him a lot. Willem Dafoe, always good. Fucking Bill Skarsgård is on a tear here the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Come on, stop playing.
Stop playing.
And presumably he's going to be in that Pennywise series that we talked about. So he's it, man. He is everywhere. Yeah. That's probably plenty for copyright purposes.
Yeah, the beat had to drop.
The beat. Bring the beat in. Anything for you, Beyonce? So let's see here. Moving on to, we'll do Marvel. What do you think? Yeah. Marvel Comics. Yeah. So they're launching 20th Century Studios imprint with Planet of the Apes.
Oh, nuh-uh.
Yeah, stop. Get out.
What is that?
The publisher plans to house Aliens and Predator comics under the new banner. Yo, fuck you, dude.
I could get down with some Predator comics and Alien comics.
Yeah. Because, dude, could we get a...
Uh-huh.
I hear what you're
Savor
saying.
it.
I hear what you're saying. Taste it.
Let it marinate.
Let it settle on the tongue. We're talking about Predator comics, right? What if we get, some sequel comics to, Prey? See some shit that happens after the fact, because in the post credits or not the mid credit stuff, it looked like there was art of more alien or Predator ships coming to
and give her a reward of sorts, or they take something from her, because don't they take her spear,
the flintlock pistol?
Yeah, that's what it was. What it was.
Because that flintlock pistol pops up in Predator 2 with old Danny Glover. Who's too old for this shit, he says.
No.
You ever watch the Lethal Weapon movies?
No.
Plebe. So, fucking get good. So I just think about, dude, Alien comics, Predator franchise. You could do Alien AVP, motherfucking Alien versus Predator comics. Come on.
Comics are better than a movie, too.
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
They couldn't. Oh, but they must.
But they must.
I ain't fucking around. I will read the hell out of some Planet of the Apes comics.
I could get down with that.
I love.
Is it the continuation of the Caesar
potentially, right?
Storyline that we know, or
not certain? Let's see what they say here, huh? Let's take a little dive. When I was reading, I didn't get the. I think that's kind of part of the. I'll have to read it and find it, right? Is it all set in that same continuity? Because also, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is the new movie that's coming out for next May, has wrapped filming. So
I didn't know they were making another one after that.
What's crazy is yes, you did, because that's been news on this podcast, but it was more than 4 episodes ago, so it just left.
It's gone.
It doesn't exist anymore. I could just start recycling news on you and be like, "Yo, what?
5th episode?
Quit fucking playing." Yeah. And then just in 5 weeks, I'll hit you with it again, and you're like, "Dude, quit it with the hits." So yeah,
straighten up.
Yeah, this film, that film's going to take place after the previous trilogy.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem to indicate whether the comics will be set on that same continuity or not. So.
I kind of want something different. I want it to be different.
Yeah. Give me something new.
Because you can do anything with it. Because you can do stuff that you can't do in movies. Because you can just draw it out.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean.
Yeah. I mean, there's basically no budget.
No. Whatever.
Or infinite budget. Yeah. Right. Throw. Yeah. Comic artists. They don't get paid, so you can just fucking make them draw anything,
Free labor.
The star-studded voice cast for Seth Rogen's TMNT Mutant Mayhem has been revealed. Yo, what?
Yeah, who's playing Leo? Who's playing Donnie? Who's playing Mikey? Who's playing Raffi?
It includes Paul Rudd, Rose Byrne, John Cena, Jackie Chan, Ice Cube, Maya Rudolph, Hannibal Buress, Giancarlo Esposito, Post Malone, and several more.
Post Malone?
Posty.
Who's Post Malone going to be as?
I don't know, man. Let's find out here. So, I do remember reading that most of the turtles are being played by relatively, compared to that cast list, lesser known
good
actors.
Good.
So, I wish they had photos, honestly. Because, Micah Abbey is playing Donatello. Shamon Brown Jr. is playing as Michelangelo. Hannibal Buress is Genghis Frog. Rose Byrne is Leatherhead. Nicholas Cantu is Leonardo. John Cena is going to be Rocksteady. And Jackie Chan as Master Splinter.
Naturally.
Ice Cube as Superfly. Natasha Demetrio as Wingnut. Ayo Edebiri as April O'Neil. Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter Stockman. Post Malone as Ray Fillet. Brady Noon as Raphael. Seth Rogen as Bebop. Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko. And Maya Rudolph as Cynthia Utrom. So it sounds like they're bringing in a bunch of villains.
Yeah.
But I guess the name of the movie is Mutant Mayhem. But I love that. Like, fuck it, just throw in... Because, again, there's that Seth Rogen being a fan of comics and probably the cartoon and things like that.
He's going to put some actual authentic continuity to it of you making callbacks to old comic books or stuff like that.
It's not, here's Shredder again. You know?
We've all seen Shredder.
We've seen Shredder, right?
Move past him.
Yeah, and I like Bebop and Rocksteady. It's just going to be fucking John Cena and Seth Rogen. Just a warthog and a rhinoceros, you know? Or I guess he's just a... Yeah, he is a warthog.
Yeah.
Well, they're both mutated, but...
humanoid.
Yeah. And I just love... Yeah, they've got Genghis Frog in there. Come on, stop it. Cut it out. What is that?
What is that?
I do believe the trailer has come out as of today. I didn't get to peep it.
No, we'll watch it after. Peep that. Yeah, we'll watch it after. Yeah. Tweet our thought.
Tweet. We'll live tweet.
If you follow us on Twitter at @whelmed_simply as our Twitter handle, you'll know today what our thoughts are.
Well, you'll know. Yeah. You'll know. You won't know today when you're listening. You'll know
when you listen to it.
When you listened.
Mm-hmm. Get some trippy shit.
Picture, if you will.
Picture, if you will.
So, Jefferson White, Adeline Rudolph are joining this Hellboy movie called The Crooked Man. So, Millennium Media's new take. Everything I was reading about this was Millennium Media's new take. So, that must be in, like, the press release. It's like, this is Millennium Media's new take on the comic book antihero. So, Jack Kesey is playing Hellboy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize him.
Hot take. I don't think David Harbour did a bad job playing Hellboy.
No. I don't think anybody's saying that. But unfortunately, that movie was bad.
Bad.
And so he's going to get wrapped up in that, you know. Whole new... Because you can't bring him back on board because then it's a sequel to that. And
Says who?
Says the general audience who's going to be like, oh, they're doing another David Harbour.
Different. All they got to come on and say, yeah, that's not the same. Swallow their pride.
Yeah, but then you got to explain to all the moms.
I swallow my pride every single time I shit my pants. That's all you got to do. You know,
I thought you were taking that in a different direction.
People come tell me, they say, yeah, Chris, he changed. I shit my pants. I had to change.
Yeah.
I had to change.
Come on. I couldn't stay like this. So, yeah, I don't recognize him. I was trying to look at like his IMDb. Apparently, he was somebody in Deadpool 2.
Cable. No. Did he play Ajax from the first? No, he said Deadpool 2. He kind of looks like him. What is it?
Just keep doing that. What is it? In Deadpool 2, he was Black Tom Cassidy. I wonder if he was one of the tryout people.
No, he was the Black Tom was the prisoner. He had the long black hair because he tells him, he goes, "What's your name?" He goes, White Wade. White Wade Wilson.
White Wade Wilson. Yeah. Black Tom Cassidy. I am White Wade Wilson. So it's that guy. Yeah. So relatively unknown dude, which is fine.
Yeah.
Right. But so listen to this. This is from the Hollywood Reporter's article. In The Crooked Man. So this story is being a script. It's a script that is penned by the Hellboy comic book creator Mike Mignola and Chris Golden. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Let's see here. In The Crooked Man, which is set in 1950s rural Appalachia, Hellboy and a rookie Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense, or the BPRD, agent discover a small community haunted by witches led by the Crooked Man, a local devil with a troubling connection to Hellboy's past. That's an intriguing story.
That sounds good.
I like setting it in the 50s. All right, so now it's a weird period piece in Appalachia, right? Which is already like especially put in the 50s. There's some ding 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 going on in the hills there, you know. There's some banjo plucking. But no, either way, I do think that there is something inherently creepy about like
rednecks,
hill folk, like
really,
like well,
you
like
think?
Yeah, like rural Appalachia. Like if you put it, especially in the 50s, there's like just some wrong turn vibes, of like we don't belong here, like that outsider kind of thing of you ain't from around here, are you, boy? And you're like,
you're a long way from home, aren't you?
Yeah. You boys lost.
You boys lost.
You boys lost. And you're like, yes, sir. We'll get you home safe. Why don't you guys follow me back? No, I'll be all right. Either way. So I think there is, I would like to see them lean a little bit more into horror.
That'd be cool. Hellboy is just a scary concept.
Yeah, right? I mean, he's a demon, right? And I do think there's something interesting of like looking more into that, right? Of him being literally like the right hand of, or is it the right fist of God or something like that?
I thought it was the left.
The left hand of God?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because his right one's normal, but it's his left one that's all
the
bricked
stone.
up, man.
It's all bricked. It's so swole.
Oh, it's bricked all right.
I think it's harder than diamond in an ice storm.
I think it's harder than me at 9 a.m. in the morning when I take a piss.
No. Sitting on just planking on a
just
toilet.
Superman it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting straight. I'm laying on the toilet.
No, but for real though, I'm down with it. I want to check it out.
Yes.
Like that sounds good. I like that they've got the comic book creator involved. I like that it does just sound like a different story. That's cool, right? I'll take a swing at it, right? I'd rather them take something. Swing, bada. I would rather them do something different or new, even if it is like, all right, we're gonna try Hellboy for the fourth time here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right? I'll keep coming up to watch it if they keep doing something new.
Yeah, yep. Give it another try because something's gonna work, right? I do think the original 2 movies were not bad.
I liked them.
So maybe just make a Hellboy 3, but I don't know if what's his boy old Guillermo del Toro is interested in that, but he's been making a lot of bangers. So with Pinocchio, his Cabinet of Curiosities, isn't that what it's called? Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities on Netflix.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either, but apparently it's pretty dang good. My in-laws are like, yo, you gotta peep that. I'm like, you don't tell me what to fucking do. How about that?
All I gotta do is pay my taxes and die. That's all I gotta fucking do. That's all the government cares about.
All I gotta do is stay white and die, all right? My milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard, which is why we're going to use that platform to talk about The Mandalorian Season 3.
Yes.
All right.
It was a pretty slow episode.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't that good.
No,
it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like, it wasn't a finale. Or it wasn't a premiere episode, you know what I mean? No. This was like the second episode.
I will say there was that cool scene with that lake monster, which I thought,
Yeah, we can fuck it. We're just going to spoil it.
We're just going to talk about it.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, or I wouldn't say that. No, it was the beginning.
It was the intro.
Because I thought it was a flashback to Mando as a kid.
Yeah, being like inducted into the way.
And then it turns out,
no, they're actively re-inducting children into this cult.
And then there's some big river monster lizard comes out and starts eating people.
Yeah, like just chomping on some Mandalorians.
We saw on screen at least like 4 Mandalorians just get eaten.
Yeah.
And then Mando comes in, shoot him.
Yeah. And we both thought that the blacksmith was just going to go hand to hand with this beast.
Yeah, and kill it.
Because the way she goes sliding in with her hammer and we were like, yo.
And she fucked up those stormtroopers real good, but I guess there was a big jump between stormtroopers
and this
man-eating lizard.
Yeah.
And
then Mando just comes through and hits it with just... Yeah, and you're like, oh, that's Din Djarin, baby. And blows the hell out of it. It explodes.
Little Grogu sitting right up there in the cockpit.
Yeah, he pops up and he's like, what it is? And they're all like, this guy again. Jesus. And so the real thing from this was that Mando basically has kind of reaffirmed. I do think there's something here of like, part of this episode feels a little bit retreaded only because we kind of knew that's where it was headed if you watched Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Right?
But for people who didn't
watch Boba Fett, first of all, for people that didn't watch Boba Fett, they had to be like, why has he got Grogu? And then he kind of just wraps it up with, you got Grief Karga running the town there, who's basically, he's like...
Grand Hierarchy.
Yeah. He's like, I thought you like got rid of this kid. Like, you know what I mean?
Why did he still have him?
And he's basically like, yeah, well, I got him where he was going. and he came back to me. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what you want.
You want from me. Like, I got the kid again. So
here we are.
Sit and spin. I'm trying to get to Mandalore, and I need a droid.
Read it and weep.
Yeah, I need a droid that can go to the surface of Mandalore in case it is actually poisoned, and scope the place out for me. Right.
He says he wants IG-11.
Yeah, because it's the only droid he can trust. And IG-11 is a statue in the middle of town where they've like memorialized him for his sacrifice, right? And some of the parts of him are actually there.
Like, it's the majority of his torso and his one arm.
And his head.
But
then the rest of his limbs are gone, and a portion of his torso is kind of blown apart. And so he's like, all right, well, I want this one. And they're like, all right, fine, fuck. And so they take him down, and he gets him booted back up, but he returns to his default programming, which is kill the baby, right? Kill Grogu. And so he has to kill him again. Has to crush his head with a statue of Grief Karga.
Hard.
and they're like, oh, well, we're going to have to reprogram this boy. So he takes him to I don't know what the race is called, or the species.
Bakku. Did
you say M'Baku?
No. I think it's it's Bakku. I remember seeing it somewhere. Hold on, let me look it up.
But they made their glorious debut in Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
Which was not good. At all. I didn't like it. And also, it was one of the last movies, I think it was the last movie I saw before like COVID shut down the theaters, so that was kind of a bummer.
There's a lot of plot holes that they're trying to do, and it just wasn't.
We're not going to dive too deep into the sequels because it's a mud trap.
I can't find it. Oh well, it's fine.
So either way, they kind of look like the blue frog that used to be on the commercials riding the motorbike. Right? They kind of look like that guy, but they don't speak English because they kind of do. It's you can figure out what they're saying, except unless you're Din Djarin.
Okay.
And then Din Djarin's like, what the fuck are they saying to me? And then Grief Karga's poking his head in there. And I like Din Djarin just sitting in it looks like the Keebler elf house. You know? Like he's too big to be in there. And he's just squatted watching him work on this thing. And they're basically like, yeah, we can't fix him. Like, we need this part. And nobody makes this part. And he's like, what if I can get you that part? And they're like, all right, well, yeah, if you can get him the part, we'll make it work, right? And fucking Grogu will not stop trying to pick the dude up. Is he trying to eat him or just hug him? I don't know. But either way, he's like, bad baby.
He's out on the prowl.
So he's got to go find this piece somewhere. Yeah. And he's like, all right, I'll be back. Basically, I'll be back. They kind of they do just kind of, Cara Dune, which is, what's her name? Cara Dune is played by... What's that woman's name who got fired because she said that being conservative was like being a Jew in the Holocaust. And Disney was like, yeah, no, I don't think it is.
Can't let that one slide. What'd they say that happened to her? She joined the New Republic
as like a special agent assignment. And they're just like, basically, she's gone now. And you're like, all right, cool.
That's a pretty hard like.
Yeah, she's not going to be here. Yeah. You're like, all right. And nobody cared. I wasn't like, oh man, oops. So
whoopsie daisy.
Whoopsie daisy. So she's gone, and Grief Karga's laying down the law. Like those pirates roll up,
and they're like they turn an old bar into a school.
The bar where the Mando was getting his jobs from him is now a school, and so they're there to get a drink and see Grief Karga, and Grief Karga's like, I run this shit now. Yeah. This is no longer like a crime hub. This is an economic hub, like trade, industry, things like that. You're not welcome here, right? And apparently, Grief Karga like fucked over their boss, and that's how he got his money to like open that bar, and then use that to own the town. And they end up getting in a shootout. Mando fucking kills
all of them except for one.
And then that guy runs off and is like, all right, well, hey, boss, here's the story.
We will have sex in your car again. It will happen.
Dirty Mike and the boys.
Yeah, Dirty Mike and the boys, man.
And so that I feel like that's going to come back. It was like these pirates, right?
Yeah, because we did get to see what the pirate boss looked like, and he looked pretty dope.
Pretty cool.
He looked pretty cool.
And so Mando, he's leaving because he's going to go see if he can't find this piece, right? And as he's leaving, he gets ambushed by some more of these pirate folk. And he has some really good space combat against him.
He does a pit maneuver.
Zipping in and out of like the asteroids, going through the holes, pulling some Millennium Falcon shit, going through the asteroids, and just blowing their asses apart.
Yeah.
And they end up leading them directly to the mothership. Basically the battle, what do you call that? Like the equivalent of like an aircraft carrier, right? Yeah. The destroyer. And they're locking in on him. They're gonna fuck him up. And he's like, yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And just hits the booster,
the nitro.
Yeah. Zips out of there, and they're just kind of like, damn it, he got away,
Holy shit, he's gone plaid.
And so they're like, oh, well, catch him on the flip, And he's throwing up deuces on him. And he gets to go see Bo-Katan, who's looking a little down on her luck. Yep. A little lonesome. She's chilling in her throne, very like, all by myself.
Yeah.
Don't wanna be. She's just carrying on. And Mando's like, yo, bitch, I'm here to join your army. Yeah. And she's like, what fucking army, dude? You got the Darksaber. And they all fucked off and are just now, what do you call those? People that do shit for money.
Bounty hunters? Mercenaries?
They're all mercenaries. Doing mercenary work. And he's like, so are you and I going to do this shit? Or and she's basically like, no, fuck you. I'm not doing this by myself. You got the Darksaber on you still? And he's like, yeah.
You just start waving that around. Well, yeah, people will follow you.
They'll just follow you anywhere. She's pretty down on her luck that she's not a leader to them without the Darksaber. Mm-hmm. When she was the one that rallied them together anyways, Yeah. And, which is kind of, hypocritical, right? And she's like, really keeps going in on him. You're a fucking cult member. Like, you were indoctrinated by those people. And he's like, blah, blah, blah.
I kind of hope, a part of me hopes that he realizes that.
I'm thinking that's the whole point of this season.
You think? Do you think we're going to see his face more? Is he's just going to take off the helmet?
I think that'll be the culmination of like, I don't have to, that's not me, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think there's probably going to end up being a play on that this is the way, of like, he'll find his own way, right?
Well, it's with the child.
He and Grogu.
This is the way.
Yeah, this is the way, right? And I think that's gonna be the whole point. Is like he's gonna go through hell to be like accepted again as part of them. And by the end, he's gonna realize like,
This isn't what I want.
That's not who I want to be, right? Mm-hmm. The things I truly want don't align with what they believe anymore. Because like they already went ahead and baited the carrot and stick situation of Grief Karga's like, dude, I got a plot of land right there for you and the kid to set up. Like you can settle down.
Yeah, you can settle down. You don't have to do this anymore. What do you say? You can hang up the holster.
Yeah, and he's giving him a way out, basically. Like, here, I've got a place here for you. We need a new marshal. I'd love to have you here as like the sheriff, basically. And Mando's like, maybe. I don't think so. That's not my style. I got my own mission. And he's like, all right.
Do you think that's?
I think that's probably
how they're gonna end it. Is he's gonna go back and
maybe, but also I know that Jon Favreau basically mentioned like there is no planned ending for the Mandalorian. It's not like like it's not like high end like television as far as like it's not a Breaking Bad, right? Where there's got to be a beginning, middle, and end. We've got it set. It's much more serialized of like these are the adventures of Din Djarin and Grogu, right? And they've luckily got themselves in a spot of like because of the species that Grogu is. You can do the adventures of Grogu for a long time,
forever.
So I think that's probably what they're headed towards.
I do want to see Grogu grown up, or like I want to see whatever that species is, but like in an adolescence to like early adulthood.
Yeah,
because I'm curious on that.
Yeah, when they don't look like a little old man or a little baby.
Yeah. They're more active.
What's the in-between stage?
Yeah, I want to see them in their prime.
I want to see like a 200-year-old Grogu. What's that look like? Because he's like, what, 55?
Something like that. He's still just a little baby.
Just a little tot. Considering little tot, little Grogu.
Little tater tot.
Little Mando. Little Yoda. That's the one. Right
baby
there.
Yoda.
No, he's not Baby Yoda. Did you see that video of Pedro Pascal on Graham Norton?
Just trying to follow rules.
Yeah, where he calls him Baby Yoda. He's like, I've never called him Baby Yoda before. I'm not supposed to call him Baby Yoda. They're joking about Disney coming to get him. He's like, oh, fuck. But, I mean, it wasn't a bad episode, but like we said, it wasn't a premiere episode. I mean, the season or the series premiere is a great episode with he and IG-11 in that town. And, when he first meets the child, and you got the premiere, like the reveal of, oh, that's a Baby Yoda.
Yeah, that's whatever his species is.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god. they somehow managed to keep that under wraps too. So that was a nice surprise. And then season 2 is when we get to see Tatooine and they're fighting the crate dragon, right?
And then we see that you have something I want.
Yeah. So I mean, there's been 2 really good premiere episodes. This one I don't think was, it was of the 3, it's the least favorite.
Setting it up for the whole season too. It's gonna be a dud. Whole
thing. I don't think so. I've got high hopes.
I'm calling it.
I got high hopes. I want to see Bill Burr again.
I do too.
His episode in season 2 is
his character was real good too. Like the story. I liked whatever his arm thing was that he had on his back. Yeah, where it gave him an extra arm.
But no, I mean, I really, really liked his episode when he gets that scene at the mess hall table with that officer.
Yeah,
where he basically like gets to really confront that guy about like
what he's done. Yeah,
right, and like that he was an Imperial soldier, and I got fucked over by you. And he's like, well, it's all in the name of the Empire. He says something about like all those dead soldiers being heroes of the Empire. Yeah. And he's like, and that's when the guy goes, to the Empire. And Bill Burr kind of smiles and looks over at Din Djarin and blasts him in the chest. Anyways, I started blasting. But yeah, so that was Mandalorian Season 3 premiere. Yeah, like we said, it was also really short, I felt. It was 37 minutes, which isn't that odd for a Mandalorian episode, but it was odd for a premiere episode.
Short, yeah.
Usually their premieres are closer to the hour mark. All right, I'm gonna let you take it from here on the things that we liked from the past year as far as podcasting.
Yeah,
since you can't remember past the 4 episodes.
No. So I was looking. I did tell you already, so this one's coming up. But I wanted to get it as my first one since it's the earliest one.
Yeah,
Uncharted. When we went and saw Uncharted, it was so much fun doing that. Just the experience behind it, because one, it was truly, we had such low expectations for it that we really did enjoy the movie. So it was nice to go in one of those cases where we didn't want to go see this movie, and then we're glad that we did.
Yeah, there was like wait a minute.
It is that case of like, I'm glad that I was proven wrong.
Yeah,
but as well as just the story of us going there. In total,
such a hard time
going the first time,
there.
Right, the shitlins were there, but then the second time, the kid was like, "Mom, my tooth came out. I'm not joking."
Yeah, right as the credits start, and it gets quiet. Yeah. Mom, my tooth came out, and we're like,
yeah, you and I look at each other like, what? And then he's like, I'm not joking. He was serious.
He's like, Mom, I'm not fucking around. Why are you not? Why is this not urgent? Like, Mom. And we were losing it.
We could not keep it together.
Kid's tooth came out, and she's just blowing him off. He's like, dude, my tooth came out.
I'm not joking.
I really like, I'm going to be sentimental, The Batman. Come on, our first episode.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good episode.
No, that's why I didn't pick it. I'm like, I think that's probably our worst episode.
It's rough, and it's also our most listened to episode.
Woof.
Which might be the reason why it's the most listened to episode. More people listen to that than any other episode, and then they don't continue. They're like, oh, this is rough. But yeah, so I appreciated that because I remember really distinctly when we went and saw the movie, and then came home and we were like trying to like keep ourselves away from each other because we were like, we gotta talk about it.
We gotta
see it. And then we rambled for like 2 hours, and it wasn't structured.
No,
much like today's.
Yeah,
Happy 1 year. Happy 1 year.
Yeah, what goes around comes around.
I meant to get you a gift, but I forgot. Technically, for us, our 1 year is tomorrow. And for everybody listening, it was yesterday.
It's fine.
The sentiment's the same.
Yeah.
Just us recording and like thinking, oh man, we did.
Hey, we did
look
this.
At us. Hey, look at us.
I remember.
I distinctly remember when we
hot shit.
Distinctly when we posted it, and we were like,
"We're doing it.
We're doing it." And we've committed to doing it. We have not missed a week.
Nope.
Through holidays, through illness. Yeah, we're doing it. Now, granted, I would like to point out this is my 53rd episode.
No,
this is my 53rd episode.
What you mean?
It's not your 53rd episode, is it?
Was there one episode where
you weren't here? Yeah, Morgan did it. So next week will be your 53rd episode.
Yeah, next week will be your last week. Wait,
yeah. Huh? No. That honestly, I do want to say that was a nice moment for me of like because I was like, oh man, like we're going off script here, right? Of like it's Colin and Chris, you know, and I think that speaks to Morgan's ability to be like, hi everybody, but then also the ability of the podcast itself to have people that listen to it, right?
Yeah.
That you were able to be gone for a week for a trip. You were able to take time away, and it not all come crashing apart, and it didn't have to. We didn't have to skip a week. You know what I mean? That's part of that. Come hell or high water, right? There'll be an episode, even if it's shambled together like this.
Hey, so, but it's all together. It's still going to get posted.
It's going to be posted, and we're going to have a good time with it.
Cash money.
Shmoney.
How many did we have? How many were we picking?
Until it feels right.
Okay. Because I have a couple.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
I'll try to do them in chronological order. The next one I wanted to talk about was Morbius.
Morbius, yeah.
Because that movie was so fucking good. It was amazing.
Yeah. It was one of the movies of all time.
I don't know how it didn't win any Oscars.
I do.
You're not gonna like me when I'm hungry.
Oh, dude, we freaking lost.
Dude, I remember just in the theater, you and I just looked at each other when he said that, and
then we were like,
we trying to keep it together.
Yeah, we're like, what the fuck? Is he fucking with us?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Is this allowed?
Is this allowed? Stop. Yeah, and that was our 5th episode, and I like that I made the episode title Morbius, more like lesbians. I thought I did something there.
We're little fuckheads.
Yeah. Little shitlins.
Are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies? And I'll have you know, I pulled up the episode notes for that one, and the intro does not include comic books.
Oh.
So the intro used to be, we're just a couple of best friends who are passionate about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, or TV shows, we have the show for you.
Well, that doesn't feel right.
No, huh?
No, that does not feel right.
I think we added in the comic book after we did.
What was it? Moon Knight
would have been. No, must not be, because Moon Knight was our 4th episode, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Doctor Strange comics.
That could have been it.
Because that was what, episode 6?
9. And then 10 we went and saw Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, and then 10.5 is
Moon Knight.
I do. I enjoy. Blah, blah, blah. I enjoy when we've done mini-sodes like that.
I think those, in a weird way, are really special episodes because it is less scripted and just more of us rambling.
Yeah, just shooting the shit.
And when we do, I mean, it just will ramble for
an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll
call it a mini-sode.
Yeah, and it's just a whole ass episode.
Yeah, it's just a full-length episode minus the news and the cryptid. And
I like those.
Yeah,
I think those are kind of special.
Because we did the same thing for Christmas for God of War.
Yeah.
We just made it we're just going to talk about God of War.
And I feel like it's a good way of making it less stressful for... Yeah. I mean, to be granted, there isn't a whole lot of stress when it comes to this besides making sure we have everything ready when it needs to be ready.
Right.
But it does it's a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
And when we go in and talk about
we're
it...
just going to roll up and talk.
If anything, there's been nothing but positive reviews for the continuity of it. Yeah. So it's still on cue to everything.
Yeah. I did enjoy the Moon Knight comics episode.
Yeah.
I felt like that was I think that's the most serious we've been about the comic of we're going to really read this comic and we're going to really talk about this comic.
We got to read another comic.
We need to do another comic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we just did the indie comics, but I want to do something else because you did the last
Ronin, which was really good.
Yeah.
And
was it the final Ronin?
The last Ronin.
Yeah.
And the Moon Knight comic I read was really, really good too. So
yeah, because you read the Mr. Knight.
Mm-hmm. Which I love that aspect of him, especially in the comic and being able to kind of look at him in the TV show. And there's a lot of similarities and differences that you'll be able to point out just from the little snippets that we saw. But I like both of their characters, and they're both very different in their own ways.
Yeah, and I really liked my comic as well. I remember being pretty invested in it. I mean, it was like a 30 comic run, and I was I
remember I had to read mine at home, at lunch, at my job, and then I had to finish it when I got home.
Yeah.
And that was really fun.
Yeah.
That gave me... It was goofy as it sounds, a sense of purpose.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to sound too dramatic here, but it gives me purpose to do this podcast.
My purpose. Yeah, and I think on the grander scale, that is something about us doing this is
it's routine.
It's a weekly commitment, right? It forces us to not that you and I ever have a turbulent relationship, really.
No.
But we got to come together on Monday. You know what I mean, or whatever it was. I remember when we started, we were recording on Sundays, and that didn't pan out because news felt so delayed.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to come together and we've got to make something together, right? And I appreciate that aspect of us.
No, I like it a lot.
Coming together and like going to the movies.
I love going to the movies.
I love when we go on our man dates together.
Yeah, we do.
And we go
our little boy dates.
Yeah, our little boy dates.
We go on our little boy dates
and just do little boy stuff,
just get too much candy, piss on a wall,
piss on a tree while people drive by, because we don't know better.
We're
just pissing outside.
Get arrested, for public indecency. Just little boy things.
Yeah, just little boy things. Join an extremist political group. Just little boy things.
Just fucking around. Come on, it's me, baby.
Summer vacation. Come on.
104 days.
No, but for real, getting in a car accident with you,
that was the best.
That was it. That's up there.
That was the best, man. Like,
oh, dude, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well, it was my turn, but
oh yeah,
that's fine.
No, it wasn't.
Because you just finished and said that you liked the Moon Knight comics.
All right.
After my Morbius.
Oh, right, yeah, because Morbius was both of ours. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead and finish.
No, you go ahead. No, it's your turn. You were quick to tell me that it's your turn, so go ahead and
I really
take your turn.
No, it's going to be jumping up a little bit. No, I'm going. That's what I'm doing right now. It's a little.
You just shut the thing down.
Hey, you know what, man?
You know what?
I'm good.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck this. I'm good, man. I don't need this.
1 year anniversary. Turns out that's all we had in us.
No, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about mine. But Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Being able, both of us, I feel like we're really moved by the dramatics when Obi-Wan Kenobi first happened.
Yeah.
Like, and being able, like, I'll never be able to have that feeling again. Not in a bad way.
Right.
But in a way that, like, it's very impactful to the sense of you and I both watched that scene where Obi-Wan's fighting Darth Vader and he cuts off that helmet and it's
see
silent.
Anakin under there.
Yeah, and you see Anakin and it's just very heavy.
Yeah, and you're like,
and so being able to kind of see that, and it's new Star Wars stuff that's not bad.
Right, yeah. I think TV has been their strongest.
Yeah, but it's still, like, I guess more, I don't want to say mainstream, but the Skywalker saga that we all know.
Yeah.
But it was newer, still more of a prequel, but good.
Yeah.
So that one, definitely was one of my most favorite episodes, and us talking about it as well. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, so like I said, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, that one was on mine.
Yeah. Us going to see that. First of all, just the story of us going to see it and not knowing where the fuck you are. And I'm just getting steamed up at you.
And I got a tattoo.
And for some reason, you were afraid to tell me.
I was like, I'm not going to tell him.
I'm just, he can't know. He's already mad at me. I'll just,
I know. That was my exact thought process. Colin's pissed at me. If I tell him I got a tattoo, he's not going to be mad, but he's going to be like,
he's going to be disappointed.
Jesus.
Like a dad. Like a dad. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Yeah. Oh, no, that's worse.
I rode, I think, 2 days without you knowing.
I think it was that night you showed me when we got home.
No, because I remember I went to bed without you knowing that first night. It might have been the next day.
Morning, maybe.
Because I came downstairs in a short sleeve. And I was
you're like, I got a tattoo.
And I wanted so many more.
Yeah.
I want to be covered.
and then I just think of us crying together,
like damn near in each other's arms.
Yeah, because those seats went way back at that theater.
They were like love seats too. They were like the ones where they had the little
seats.
Yeah, they were seats for cuddling. You better settle down.
There was a lot of love in them seats, boy. Well, no, we were you just hear each other.
Dude, I had to keep it together so hard not to try to.
Yeah,
but I was so close to just let one of those babies
just having a good cry.
That rip.
Yeah, just in the theater having a good cry, the kind of cry that just I guess I needed that. You know, the kind of cry that you feel the need to justify after the fact. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
Side note: that's how I was with Luca, the Disney movie Luca. I was fine. I was pitch perfect the entire way, but it was the exact ending where, like, what is it? Right before the credits. They all start going to school, and Luca's talking to Alberto, and Alberto's telling him, like, go have fun. Like, I'll be here. He goes, what about you? And he looks back at him and he goes, I want to stay here, but go learn. I want you to. And, like, he goes off, and it's a very emotional scene, and I'm just, as he's driving away, I'm just, he's just a boy who wants to learn. But
oh man,
that one moved me. But I don't really not talk about that. But it was just a side note. What about you? I say one more for each.
Yeah, let me find a good one then. Oh man, why you gotta do me like this?
I'm doing you like that, baby.
Got it.
I can pull your hair too.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Gee Willikers, Batman.
Golly, jeez. Whoa. Let's see here. Cut it out. Oh, dude. I don't know if it's... I've got to pick only one more.
Mm.
When you go.
I'm going to say Prey.
Yeah?
Either Prey or God of War.
Yeah.
Because God of War 1, just being able to play it. Now, granted, we had a different time scale on this because you kind of played it first, then I played it. Then that's when I was able to play it. This is when I got my PS5. Mm-hmm. During Prey, again, it was one of those we had. Now, for this one, we had a little higher expectation.
Because it sounded promising.
It sounded really good. But we also did have that
trust issues.
Yeah, with
the Predator property.
Right. And so we were kind of nervous going in.
Yeah.
So we had that restraint. But then soon as it starts, it's gas from the beginning till the end. Like there was not a downfall to it.
Yeah, and we were like, what the fuck?
So I love whenever we have those or see something that we think is not going to like, or there's going to be some restraint. Yeah. And we just get completely blown out of the water.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like we're very passionate in this, normally, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But when it's stuff like that and we're both like, we were proven wrong, like, and this is how, this is what they did, this is how they did it correctly.
To a lesser extent, Black Adam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I distinctly recall Hawkman, when he changes his weapon, I distinctly remember you and I both fighting there and just be like, oh, and look at each other because we were trying to keep our lips tight on this one. Yeah, be like, same with Dr. Fate, Dr. Fate, and we're like,
I remember I did look at you and Dr. Fate and was like, yo,
gas, what the fuck? Who is this man? Oh shit. I've got more than one, like Barbarian. The ones that keeps coming back to me are like the ones where we went and saw a movie. Mm-hmm. And I can remember like how we felt watching.
Well, I mean,
the movie.
We are going to be biased and say probably like each and every episode is a favorite, just because we love doing it.
Yeah, but like Barbarian was it was a good movie, and I distinctly remember how we felt like leaving and being like,
like that wasn't what we expected, in the best way possible.
Yeah, and I think we've done Nope, but like we really haven't done horror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nope was good, though. Nope was really, really good.
Yeah. But so for Barbarian to be like a horror movie.
Yeah. Because that one had a little more comedic effect. It was a more of a mind twister.
Yeah. Nope was more like a monster movie, but less horror monster, more adventure or thriller.
Yeah.
Or like a Jaws, Whereas like Barbarian is a horror movie.
Yeah. It is scary.
It is scary. And
Mama. Like, and she's hanging down that
nasty hairy bottle. Making him nurse Justin Long. Ugh. I guess if I gotta wrap it up, like, I'm looking because I've got a lot that I'm like weighing. You said God of War, didn't you?
Yes.
So I won't use that. I
did say 2. I said either Prey or God of War, so you can say 2.
So then, again, because of the movie going experience that we had behind it, oh God, Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh,
I just think about that day. Like, we just went and hung out. Like, it was a midday matinee. Yeah. Went and the same theater where we saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. And then it was just a not good movie for us. We were like, this wasn't that good. But I had a decent experience going to see it, you know. Didn't we go mid when we left?
Yeah, we were pretty mid.
It was mid.
I just had a lot of good potential that was, I feel like, thrown out very lazily.
Yeah.
Lazily.
And then to borrow your, this or that, Violent Night.
Oh, dude, I forgot about it. Yeah. Well, I didn't forget.
It was more than 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, you got me beat.
Yeah. So, yeah, you did forget.
Violent Night was good, though.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
I think about us actually laughing in the theater, like, at violence.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, when he's just ambushing those men in the pool house and just shanking them with a
candy cane that he's sucking on.
That he has sucked into a shiv. But yeah, so it's been a good year. Mm-hmm. And
here's to another one.
Yeah, that's right. Here's many more.
Hopefully.
Till death do us part. I didn't realize that was a goal,
Feels more like a contract.
Yeah, boo. It was a threat, not a promise.
No,
I enjoy doing this with you, and I hope to continue doing it with you.
Oh, and also, side note, before I forget.
Yeah.
Because I'll say it again at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
We started streaming.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Kind of. We're still really getting the hang of it.
Yeah. It's a whole different feel from doing this. This is structured.
Yeah, this is...
Well, typically.
Because when we game, the only problem is we sometimes will get focused and we'll get quiet.
Yeah, we don't realize how quiet we are when we play.
Right.
Until that feels like what you're not supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh, shit, we're real quiet.
And so...
We've been real quiet lately.
There are times we streamed Sons of the Forest for a while.
Yeah, we streamed us beating it.
Yeah, and that was fun. And we had, I think, 2 or 3 viewers.
A few viewers that dropped in. We didn't make any announcement or anything like that.
No. We just kind of did it. Really. Yeah. And so I wanted to officially come on and be like, we're going to be doing this. So, I mean, if it's something that you would like, I can start throwing it on Twitter, Facebook, all the socials that, hey, we're about to, start going live.
Yeah.
If you guys want to just come in, listen, and stuff like that. And our thing is we play video games for a majority of amount of our time. So figured.
Pretty frequently. Yeah. And this gives us an excuse to do it more.
Yeah.
And, we're already there, right?
If you guys like listening to us shoot the shit here, you should really hear what we got to say when we're playing video
when Virginia's out there in the woods, you know what I'm saying? Why were you Hannibal Lecter?
Clarice.
I just live with a side of Chianti and there was a side of fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Virginia has me down bad. Down bad. What have you been thinking about?
What? I'm supposed to ask you that.
Well, I asked you first. We're doing things a little different on the 1 year.
That's right. Yeah, there's no rules. I've been thinking about
anarchy.
It's anarchy. I've been thinking about RimWorld.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Sims and RimWorld.
I want to get back into Sims, and
I'll tell people here. I've brought it up before. I love The Sims.
Mm-hmm.
But The Sims 4, we've talked about how nickel and dimey EA is, especially on The Sims. But they actually are putting out a pretty many. So I really appreciate that they're putting out a large update for free to a bunch of people who have really been fucked over by the company as far as
how much money they've put into it,
myself included. And it's adding a whole new life stage to the game as far as you go from being a baby to an infant now, where an infant is an actual sim now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to add a bunch of new gameplay and things like that, which is kind of interesting. And that's always been one of my complaints of The Sims 4, especially, is that babies in it are basically objects.
Just objects.
And then they turn into toddlers. So the first 3 years of this baby's life, they're just an object, right? And it's well, that's not cool, right? And so it's adding more options there, as well as with the game feeling like you don't rush through some of the life stages.
Sure.
It sounds like they're lengthening the life of a sim entirely.
Good.
So that's cool, because sometimes you get to the end of a sim's life and you're like,
that's it.
I don't want to be done.
Yeah.
But I just enjoying playing as a sim. So that's kind of interesting. I'll be excited to jump into that. And I haven't read too much about it, but they are doing a new expansion that seems to be around the same premise of just I think it's called Growing Old is the name of the expansion, or Growing Up or something like that. And so it's just about life experiences and all that, and I don't know.
I think it'd be a cool feature if they added weak knees. As you get older, so you probably should move to a ranch style house rather than a 2-story.
Your sim can fall down the stairs and die of a broken hip. Get life alert. Yeah, get life alert in The Sims. Help! I had a mod on my Sims that was meant to make things more realistic and things like that. And it was when you die, the Grim Reaper doesn't come. The fucking the coroner does. And you have to you don't go to work that day because you're standing here talking to the coroner about how your wife died in the kitchen when the fire started, and you're just talking to the coroner, and it takes too long, and then the coroner leaves, and you're sad for the next week, right, of sim time, which in The Sims that's a season, so that's 3 months of deep mourning. And I was I don't like this mod anymore.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
This is too sad. But yeah,
that's live.
And so I've been trying to do that with The Sims, is just not play myself, right? Create just a random person and then play their life, right? But then RimWorld, dude,
You got me hooked on RimWorld. I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah. We'll both talk about it briefly, because maybe it could be our what you're thinking about next week. So, because
we really haven't gotten too far in it.
Yeah, we just discovered that there's a multiplayer mod for it, so we're going to see how that pans out. But it's basically somewhat of an RPG, somewhat of a colony simulator management. With the RPG elements come from like the random attributes that your players can have or your characters can have, as well as random events that can occur. And so it just builds its own story, and you're role playing as these people, right? But you've crash landed on some alien planet, and you're trying to build a colony and survive. And there's raiders and different wildlife,
towns, traders, slavers.
Yep,
slaver. I barely know her. No, but like, you can capture people who come in and try to raid you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you can either kill them.
You can do some pretty horrendous stuff in this game.
Yeah.
Like, you can make human leather.
You can harvest them.
Yeah, you can skin them. You can make clothing out of their skin.
Or you can let them live and join your colony.
Or you can just, bring them on board. You can keep them alive and use them as an organ farm. And just... somebody's got a kidney?
I kind of want to do that. I feel like as morbid as it sounds in the game, that doesn't sound like a bad thing to do. Because it's like, well, in case if anything happens, I have someone who's a really good shooter, and I need to keep them alive. If their liver fails, we got a backup.
This guy's got a spare, We'll just take his liver from him.
Monsters.
Yeah. So... that'll be exciting to play together and see how that works. As far as like having two colonies and what does that give you as far as the ability to communicate between the two, I'm not sure.
As well as like trading, I'm curious on how that's going to work.
Yeah, because you'd floated the idea of like you being more militaristic and me being more agricultural or vice versa. Right?
Yeah, we'll be able to.
Would we be able to share those attributes? And I don't know that would be the case. You know what I mean? I don't know how that would work, so we'll have to find out. But what you been thinking about, Chris?
I think what you meant to say is welcome back to Chris's Cryptid Corner. I'm your host, Chris. This week, we'll actually be talking about, I got everything pulled up on my phone, is the Boggy Creek Monster.
All right.
So the Boggy Creek Monster, also known as the Swamp Stalker, is a large brown humanoid that lives near Folk, Arkansas, and bears a strikingly eerie similar resemblance to the Momo seen in Louisiana, Missouri, or Bigfoot. So it is a variant of Bigfoot. It has made major news, and tracks have been found in various places, but mostly throughout Arkansas. It is vicious and it attacks humans. Many people say they've been terrified by the creature. Local legends of an ape-like creature date all the way back to 1946. In that time, it was called the Jonesville Monster up in Arkansas. Based on the town where it was initially sighted. It was sighted again in the mid-1960s. The creature didn't make local headlines until around 1971, when it is said to attack the home of Bobby and Elizabeth Ford.
Okay. So, like, broke in and was beating people up. Kill somebody.
The monster was an inspiration for the documentary film The Legend of the Boggy Creek, directed by late Charles B. Pierce, which in turn inspired an additional sightings up throughout the late 1990s.
Yeah. This was recommended to us, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, in the 1990s, 4 more films based around Boggy Creek Monster were released subsequently between 1972 and 2011. And then a comparison to the Boggy Creek Monster to the Southern Sasquatch is what we're going to be talking about right quick.
Yeah.
The Southern Sasquatch is described as a giant human-like ape creature with long arms, long dark hair, 3 toes on each foot, and bright red eyes the size of silver dollars.
Just sounds like Morgan.
Yeah. I'm not understanding.
I'm not understanding the problem here.
It's said to walk with shuffling and runs with a hunch or a slouched posture while swinging its arms.
Still Morgan.
Yeah, still. I'm not.
It's just I've married this thing.
Like a primate, original reports from the 1970s described the creature as standing up straight, 7 feet tall, and about 300 pounds, and a chest about 3 feet wide.
Damn.
These creatures are alleged. The creature's alleged footprints are said to measure at 17 inches long and 7 inches wide.
Damn.
God,
that's a big foot.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's why they called him that.
I think you might be onto something. But then let's see here. But then I wanted to talk about So from the southern Sasquatch to the similarities and the differences of the swamp stalker. So with the swamp stalker in Arkansas, it's told that they're to have more mossy looks to them, more forest environmental like features about them.
Sure, yeah.
Which I think is really interesting.
Like a sloth, they've just got moss growing in their hair.
Yeah. But also going back to when I talked about the Yeti and how it could just be a variant of Bigfoot that has made it up to the mountains. I think this is something that could be very similar to. It's just made it in a different part of a region.
To,
and it's like you're saying.
Look at humans.
Exactly.
A human in China doesn't look like a human in
Scandinavia,
Southeast Africa versus a human in South America versus North America versus Scandinavia. And I just think all look different for reasons based on like our environments.
I just think that's so interesting to pull up information and facts about those, and I did have a sound bite for it as well.
Good. I like this.
Let me see here. Alrighty, so here is the sound bite for, and then this is just a clip of what the Boggy Creek monster sounds like. That was a duck in the back. That was not.
That was not the Boggy Creek. That was the swamp stalker. Yeah. So. Yeah.
But it just sounds like a big fat screech. Mm-hmm. And but I thought that was super interesting. And again, like same thing of like different variants, they have different screams or howls calls, or whatever it may be.
Forms of communication, or.
But I just think it's super interesting.
Yeah.
I thoroughly think we should go on a Bigfoot hunt.
Maybe.
Sam Squanch.
We should.
I think it would be a great idea for us to record us going through something supernatural or like doing an event that is like supernatural or cryptid like.
Get us some lapel mics
and just
go on location.
I think that'd be so funny if we just took like portable shit to make a podcast and then we went to like that prison that you were talking about.
New batteries for this is portable.
If we get something like that and just walk around, give us a sign. Get out. But that's all I got from you.
Yeah. I think that's all I got for you. So again, we want to thank you guys so much for your attention and support. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a great review. Tell your friends about it. Obviously share us on social media. Word of mouth is a big endorsement for us. Make sure you're liking, following, subscribing on your audio streaming service of choice so you get notified when our new episodes are available. We've always been trying to make them available by 8 a.m. on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
So 53 episodes strong here. Let's go.
Got another 53.
That's right. Another 53 in us. Fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, boy.
106. We'll come back and see where we're at.
See how we're feeling. Chris, if people want to get in touch with us, give us some feedback, ask us questions, watch us game.
Absolutely.
How would they do that?
You can always take a look at, I know my stream is on Twitch, and it's Simply Gaming Chris.
Okay.
And then I wasn't sure what you officially had named yours.
I don't know that
You haven't made one yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I know probably for streaming, to my knowledge, I'll probably be taking more of the reins on that.
Probably, yeah.
Just because, I can just 2 clicks of a button say, hey, I'm streaming. I have it set up for them. Well, maybe I'll just make it Simply Whelmed Gaming then.
That's what I was thinking.
We could probably do that. We could probably do something like that.
Yeah.
But, and then, of course, if you wanted to take a look at us on, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, we have a Reddit, you can always take a look at us at Simply Whelmed Podcast, as well as our Twitter handle. I know I mentioned it before, was Whelmed_Simply. And then, of course, you can, shoot us an email, devote your love to us, give us your firstborn.
That's right.
Anything along those lines, at simplywhelmedmailbag@gmail.com.
That's right. So next week, is going to be our wrap-up episode for The Last of Us on HBO.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about that.
I'm really excited for that. That might end up being an episode that we don't do anything but talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Because there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to dissect.
And I don't want to do a 3-hour episode or, a 2-hour episode.
Are we going to be doing it strictly just off the show, or do we want to talk about some of the comparisons to the game?
I think at that point we could compare it to the game as long as it's just contained within the first game, and not talking forward about the second game.
Okay.
Just to keep things spoiler-free for people that haven't played the games.
That's cool with me.
Yeah. And then after that, who knows? Creed 3 came out and is apparently doing really well at the box office. Freaking Cocaine Bear is out. And
I heard Cocaine Bear is stupidly good.
Yeah,
like it's so fucking good.
And we've got Shazam: Fury of the Gods coming out.
Maybe we're wrong, right?
Exactly.
But that's the thing. That's the you got to muster the courage to go.
Yeah.
We do have to go back to the theater. We haven't gone to the theater since
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania,
which wasn't that long ago. But it still feels like a while, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. It feels like a while ago. Also, I've been sick, so days been blurs.
Yeah.
But happy 1 year.
Hit you with the tiniest piano or the tiniest violin.
Violin.
No. Happy 1 year, Chris. Happy 1 year to everybody that's listened from the beginning, and
absolutely
everybody that's started on this episode. Hopefully, we get to talk to you this time next year.
Yeah, and so you got a year's worth, so you should be solid.
Yeah, you should be set to get caught
just
up
to
there.
binge it.
Just push through episode 1.
Yeah, devote your life there. Yeah, you really got to fucking push that.
Yeah, just if you can get through episode 1, I promise you, it gets marginally better.
Man.
I said marginally. I didn't say it was like just catastrophic.
Yes.
My God. 2 different boys. No, they just took some constructive criticism and ran with it.
We did.
But
I feel like now, like looking back from where we were to where we are now, I guess maybe that's something I do want to talk about real quick. And part bloopers.
Yeah.
But we talk so fluently together now. Yeah, and like you're saying, just talking confident to each other, especially with the quiet gaps. We're able just to stop. Something we've done really well is we can stop the flow and essentially just put it on pause, and we have no problem picking it back up. There's some points where we'll just lose where we're at.
Yeah, and we're like,
but we're still able to pick up that groove and move forward with it, and that's one of the biggest things I think we've accomplished. From starting off.
And I do think part of that is just us
repetition
and being face to face. I think was a major game changer for us as far as our interpersonal chemistry is. It's fucking phenomenal. Yeah. And so for us to be able to look at each other and make each other laugh
every morning,
piss excellence, and for us to be able to like there, we saw each other smile and it makes the other one smile and start to laugh and we feed off of that, which I think is part of what you're talking about, of being able to slip back into the flow of things. Mm-hmm. So, I think hey, congrats! Look at us.
Hey, congratulations.
Sorry, this episode was a little bit of
Don't you apologize?
It was a little bit of a masturbation session.
This was
it's been like, God, we've done it for a year.
Hey, man.
Hey, look at us.
I can confidently say this is probably one of the most proudest things I've ever been.
Yeah, I'm very proud of us. Mm-hmm. We committed to it. We've done it every week,
and we've done it for a year. This is something I've committed to this more than I have in my past relationships.
Yeah.
There's passion.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it is fun it does make me realize, I do enjoy doing media. Well, that's the end of the episode, Colin. Tell everyone bye.
Bye.